Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It is Tuesday, and we're on off-season mode almost. So we had 2 days off, so we're doing Tuesday trivia today. Yeah, we haven't done a Tuesday trivia in a few months, and this will be fun. I wrote up the questions yesterday, and the question subject will be about the 905 season. I've done my analysis of the 905 season with my star system, and I've ranked and found out who were the best players for the 905 this season and who were the most efficient and all that kind of stuff. Because I do the stars every game, I had a point system. So basically, when the Raptors 905 won, I got 5 stars, and each one of them got ×2 for whichever star they got. If you got the fifth star, the number one star of the game in a win, you got 10 points added to your star rating. If you got the second star, you got 8. If you got the third star, you got 6. You got the fourth star, you got 4. You got the fifth star, you got 2. If they lost and there were only 3 stars, they only got 3, 2, 1 for points. So it was heavily weighted towards winning on the 905 and the players that won. So if you were the best player in a win, you got 10 points to your star rating. So I accumulated all the numbers for all the players for this 905 this year, and I have my spreadsheet and my results for that. And that will be part of the questions today for today's 905 season ending trivia. Of course, the people that watch the 905 will do better on this. So if you were somewhat familiar with 905 this season, you should be all right today. So we'll have to see what's up. All right, let me check in with the comments. No more comments, Trevor, because I am going to start the trivia as soon as I read your last comment there about the Timberwolves, okay? All right, so let's start off with Isaac Campbell giving me a nice welcome with the emoticon parade. There's myself and Monique and Scotty Barnes and the spray paint. Shh. Yeah, we're going to get the emoticons freshened up soon. I was already talking to Fiercey about getting that project going once the regular season's over. I'm going to get this figured out, and we're going to get these emoticons fixed up again and changing in and out for lots of fun. Yeah. Trevor J., good morning to you, Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Here's his words of wisdom this morning. Walk away from arguments that lead you to anger. Walk away from people who deliberately put you down. Walk away from pleasing people who never see your worth. Walk away from judgmental people who don't know your struggle or what you've been through. There you go. Yeah, you know what? Energy, it tells the truth. And also, if you don't want to waste your life with the wrong people. And in some ways, you've got to, if somebody's not seeing your worth and not making the changes in their life to want to be in your life, well, you got to move on. And sadly, that's just the truth. I mean, you can't hang around for years and years and years and get nowhere, spinning your wheels. You have to get some progress. And if that's not happening for whatever reason, it's not meant to be. And that sucks. I hate it. I actually hate it. But yeah, people that put you down, people that treat you wrong, don't hang around and put up with that. Seriously, don't hang around and put up with that. He's saying that the Kings beat the Pistons last night. That's pretty good. All right. Good job, DeMar. Good job, Jonas, for beating the Pistons last night. The Kings are still in a struggle on the Western Conference side to get in a good place before the end of the year, and they're in the play-in right now. And, well, they'd rather be in the upper part of the play-in. So winning right now is important to a lot of teams still, but not the teams that are tanking or in the bottom of the league like us. So, yeah, that's good stuff. James is saying Malawatch versus Derek Queen. Every draft we see prospects like Malawatch. Last year it was Yves Missy. Then the year before that it was Derek Lively. Players like Queen are harder to come by. That's an interesting point by James. He's saying that in some ways the offensive skills of Derek Queen are more rare and that we need to take respect for that. There's a new article out on ESPN because the tournament ended last night. Florida Gators won over Houston Cougars, and they've put out a new mock draft after the tournament, and they've got us picking Malawak at 7. They got us picking him at 7. Of course, the ping pong balls would determine the final order of the draft, but we're in the 7th spot, and they've got us picking Common from Duke. And then in the second round for the 39th pick that we got from Portland Trailblazers, they've got us picking the point guard from Auburn. That would be, what's his name? Hang on. Let me get there. Tahad Pettiford, point guard from Auburn, freshman, is who ESPN is saying this morning on their new mock drafts that's who we have mocked to pick. Common Maluwach, and the point guard from Auburn as the 2 picks from ESPN. There you go. Trevor J saying we're going to keep Pistons top protected pick because Pistons making the playoffs. There you go. There you go. Wolves are going to keep the Pistons top protected pick. Interesting. Interesting. Well, the Timberwolves have new ownership and there's weird stuff going on with their team in flux. Well, hey, Detroit's done good. I would say that the Pistons fans will take that trade. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to have playoff basketball for the first time in a long time. We lose a pick or whatever. Whatever. They don't care. In some ways, it's like they're doing good. James is saying, honestly, think we should quit pick Queen. Alperen Sengun is probably the last offensive playmaking center that has recently been drafted. So you're comparing him to Alperen. That's good stuff. I mean, we'll see what happens, James. It's interesting. They've got Queen pretty far down in this mock draft. He is much lower. I believe they've got him at 13th or something, picked by Miami is what they're saying right now. Wait, where is it? Where is it? No, they've got him at 11, picked by Miami Heat. They think Derek Queen should be picked by the Miami Heat. Didn't y'all just get Kelly Ware last year, you jerks? Now you want to try and funnel Derek Queen to your team at the 11th pick? That's interesting right there. I see that Asa Newell, the third pick of who we like, is actually very far down. He's number 21 on this list, going to the Orlando Magic via Denver pick. So that's the latest mock draft in there right now. Reggie's here. Good morning, Smooth Brown man. Got a feel for Houston, man. Only the second NCAA final in their history, 0-2. Yeah, I guess I thought Phi Slamma Jamma won, but I guess they never did. I know Reggie's got his Houston ties. And yeah, so it's like I wish they had won. I don't like the Gators. And the game was very, very close. And it's too bad that they didn't come through. It's too bad they didn't come through. All right, let's get the trivia going, guys. This is Raptor Freak Trivia. We're going to be here. Yeah, the last play for Houston's going to haunt them. Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I did see the score was close right at the end, and then I saw that Florida prevailed, which is annoying. I was rooting for Houston just like you guys. So, all right, let's get this going. We got 17 trivia questions. They're going to be 50 points each. Yeah, they didn't win with Drexler and Olajuwon. That's too bad. So, yeah, that was the time back in the day when they made it before, right? Was back with Olajuwon and Drexler that they got to the top of the tournament. Oh, well, in some ways it is what it is. And, well, Kelvin Sampson, no matter what, is a very successful college coach, a very, very good coach, and they can't take that away from him, right? You can't take that away from him. All right, let's start the trivia, guys. My first question is pretty open-ended, and, I just want you guys to guess. Remember, we do full name answers, but I may allow for some leeway, but you need to make it very clear which one of the players you're talking about. But I prefer full name answers. But if you can't remember a person's full name because they're 905, at least give me the right half of their name, okay? Give me the right half of their name. And maybe spelling has to count. All right, so here's the first question. Which one of the Raptors 905 do you guys think was the stars leader for this season? Who do you think collected the most stars out of all of the 905 players this season? Who do you think was number one on my list that got the most stars in the star rating system? Now, that means maybe playing in a lot of wins. That means maybe playing the whole entire season. That means, like, yeah, John K., yeah, trivia questions today. We're doing the Raptors 905 season wrap-up. John, welcome. And if you feel like playing, man, we're going to give some points out today. And there is a grand prize for our trivia champion at the end of the season. You get your name on the trivia champion trophy, just like a Stanley Cup. So, yeah, anybody, what do y'all think the guess is for who of the 905 accumulated the most stars in the star system that I have for rating players after games? Which one of the 905 players do you think had the most total stars for this year, this whole entire year, the tip-off tournament and the regular season? Which one, guys? I need some guesses now, y'all. Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. If you watch 905 and you know their team, you should have a real advantage today. And some people, you all should be aggressive to get these points. You all should just name the 905 players that you know. And in some ways, I'm not going to tell y'all you can't keep answering. So today, there's no rules about spamming answers. And there's no rules about overtaking this trivia because honestly, we're going to have to get through it. And y'all are gonna need to guess. Yeah, G's saying Quincy Guerrier. That's a good guess. I'll go to my list and I'll tell you where he ranked as far as everything with that. Quincy is he's pretty far down, man. He's pretty far down. He's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's seventh on the Raptors for stars this year. Seventh, G. So is not right. Keep guessing. Who do you guys think got the most total stars on the team this year? This is going to be, these questions are somewhat hard. So I'm a little worried. This may be like pulling teeth today. So hopefully you guys can get it going. Yeah, think about who was the biggest presence on the Raptors 905 overall throughout the season. Who would you say would be the MVP? That's kind of what this answer is. Who would it be? G saying, I'm driving, so I won't be able to play much, but good luck, everyone. G, I appreciate that. He is the first Raptor Freak Trivia champion from the first season we did this. G's name is on the trophy already. Trevor J saying AJ Lawson. AJ Lawson's not a bad guess, Trevor. He's second, actually, on the list. He is second. You're close. Survey says, it's second. There's still number one answer on the board, but AJ Lawson was second. He accumulated the second most stars on the team this year. So good guess, Trevor. It's not exactly right, though. That was the second best guess. No, there's still somebody else, guys. But you know what? Maybe he has the same nationality as AJ Lawson and Quincy Guerrier. That may give it away right there. If you can figure out that clue right there, who would have the same nationality? James is saying, is it Ulrich Shamshay? No, it's not Shamshay. Shamshay is on this list. He is fifth on this list. He's the fifth most star-laden player for the 905 this year. Of course, Shamshay missed a good chunk of the season. He probably would have been higher on there, but it's a good guess, James. That's number 5, survey says. Number 5 on the list. So we got number 2, number 5, and number 7. We still don't have number 1, though, guys. I gave the best clue. Come on, y'all. Who's the other guy other than Lawson and Guerrier that is from the same country? It's real easy then. You guys can figure that out. If you know, what is my whole new segment? It's called The Straight Goods on Canadian Goods, right? So that should give it away right there. Man, I hope it isn't this hard, the whole thing, guys. You guys are going to have to come more correct here because this is bad, man. I don't know. Reggie, you're here, right? Y'all should just keep guessing. Guess stuff. Just guess. Is there anybody here that actually watched 905 today? Because I feel like we don't have any of the 905 watchers here, and this may be a problem. So keep guessing, please. Don't stop. Who is the other person who's from the same country as Quincy and AJ Lawson? G's saying Kennedy Chandler. He thinks that Kennedy Chandler might be. See, I'm throwing out the half-assing. Kennedy Chandler is actually third on the list. Kennedy Chandler is number 3. Number 2 is AJ Lawson. Number 3 is Kennedy Chandler. And number 1 is still not guessed. Number 1 star for the 905 this season. But Kennedy got the third most stars. Yeah, because he played the whole season. It's really more about that. And in the early part of the season, he got a lot of stars because he was the main guy in the tip-off tournament for the Raptors 905 at that time. There we go. Stargate's got it. And I'll take that half-assed answer because it is Eugene Omoruyi. That is the right answer. Stargate, good job. You know what, y'all? This is going so badly right now. I'm going to really inflate the points to entice y'all to answer. I was going to do 50-point answers, but y'all are doing so bad. I'm going to make them 100 points each. So Stargate just got 100 points for getting Eugene Omoruyi is the number 1 star for the Raptors 905 this year. He accumulated the most stars out of any of the 905 players. Canadian Eugene Omoruyi is the answer. And he didn't even write in his last name. I'm being so lax today. I'm being so lax. Dylan Dissu was not right. All right, here's the second question. And this is going to be impossible, I believe, for you guys, because I really don't think y'all paid enough attention to 905. What were the last 2 players that the 905 acquired in the season before the end of the season? These guys didn't even hardly play at all. So you really have to know the bottom of the barrel. What were the last 2 players that the 905 acquired in their season? There were 2 more guys that they signed, the last 2 guys that Luke Wynn signed and brought in from the player pool. And if you know these answers, holy crap, you're a badass. First of all, one of them has I don't know what's the best way to say this. He's got the same last name as the Beach Boys and the NBA player that's in this league right now. That's still in the league. He's old as hell. But yeah, that family connection between the Beach Boys, the band, and one of the players in the NBA, that last name is the last name of one of these players. And then the other person is got a Polish last name, and his first name starts with a Q. So if you can figure out those two names, you're gonna get 100 points for each name. So if this may be, man, this may be impossible. I'm really sad about this because honestly, y'all with the classic card and also with the trivia have been let me down. I'm not gonna lie. It was really hard for y'all to get Fred Roberts yesterday. And now the trivia is like it's like the best trivia players. Where are y'all right now? Come on. I know y'all are good that are here. It's just I need y'all to step up. So, what would be the name of the first player if they have the same last name as Beach Boys and also their relative that plays in the NBA? If you know that connection in that story, you'll know the last name, and I'll take the last name. I don't even care if you give me the first name. And then the other guy has a Polish name, and his first name starts with Q. So, and I don't even care if y'all cheat. Y'all can cheat today too. Seriously, help me out here. Where's Amit Gaming? This is where we need Amit Gaming to step in and enter the chat and do what he does like he did last year. I mean, with him around, he brings the competitiveness up, and now it's just like we're just sitting here on the stream. I mean, what were we doing here, guys? Come on, man. We want to get these trivia questions done, right? If I don't get any answers, I will just move on, and it's sad. It's sad because this doesn't happen very often, where we have trivia questions that do not get answered and the points just go away. So, who were the last two players that Luke Wynn brought to the Raptors 905 this season as adding on to the team because they needed them because they had too many injuries and too many guys gone? Who are the last two players? One of the players' last name is the same last name as the famous Beach Boys brothers, who have a nephew who plays in the NBA, who won a championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's a big, huge, tall, goofy guy who is still in the league right now currently, but probably won't be in the league for many more years. Yeah, if you know that, you'll get the last name. Yeah, I know you don't watch it, Reggie, but maybe from the clues, you might be able to figure out what the answer is. What would the answer be? Like, who is the Beach Boys? You know the band, the Beach Boys? You know there's a player in the league that's related to the Beach Boys, right? You know currently right now. People should know that. That's general trivia about the NBA right now. So if you know the last name of that player, you can get the last name and get 100 points right now. And then the other player is a Polish guy who has a first name that starts with Q. And that's pretty easy too to figure out. Like if you can go look it up. I mean, it doesn't even matter. These are easy points for people to get. All right. So if nobody's going to guess or even try, I'm going to just X this question out and we'll move on. This is one of the harder questions, honestly, out of all of them. This is one of the harder ones because these guys are no names. And if you don't even watch the 905, well, you're definitely not going to know any of these answers for these guys. So I really wish somebody would get the clue from the Beach Boys. Like, where is the Beach Boys connection to the NBA, guys? This is basic NBA knowledge that has nothing to do with G League. Somebody should know how and why the Beach Boys are connected to the 905. This is bad, man. This is bad. Y'all are leaving me out to dry here today. Come on, y'all. Step up. Somebody step up and play something. There we go. Bryce has got the one name. There you go. Bryce is stepping up. There we go. Bryce Lawson's coming in from Kentucky. He's gotten the Polish guy who's Quinn Schlazinski. He was the last signee. So, Bryce, that's 100 points for you. You know what? I'm going to give you 200, man. Seriously. Anybody who does really good today, you're going to get some points. The other player has the same last name as a player that played for the Cavs and won a championship, and he currently plays on the Miami Heat, and he's related to the Beach Boys. And if you know that, you can get this last name. It's easy. Yeah, Loud and Love. Bryce knows it. There you go. Bryce Lawson's the hero. Bryce, you want to clean up on some trivia points today? You want to move up? You go ahead and keep going. All right, second question. Thank you, Bryce, for helping me out, man. Seriously. What three players on the 905 this season played on the 905 last year? There were only three guys that played last year on the 905, and were returned and came back and played this year. If you can name the 3 players that suited up for 905 last season and actually played for 905 again this season, you can get the points. Yeah, so Bryce is getting 400 points for the first those 2 questions that he got right there. Yeah, what were the 3 players that played for last year? Bryce, that's a good guess. Kevin is right. Trevor, you're going to get some points. Kevin O'Banner is right. Trevor got that one. Kevin O'Banner was on the team last year and this year. And that's good. Quincy was not on the team last year. He was on Summer League, but he did not play on the Raptors 905. So that is not right. But there's 2 more answers on this. And one of them may be somebody who was on the Raptors also, who was on 905 both times, technically. And he may have been a 2-way. Let's just put it that way. There's a 2-way that was on the Raptors last year, and he played for 905 last year. And he came back this year and was on a 2-way, and he played for the 905 at the beginning of the season, but he wasn't around for much long, that long. He did technically play for the 905 both seasons. So that's one of the answers. And the other guy is a guy who was really known for dunking, but wasn't very, he was on both years. He was kind of a good athlete and a good dunker, but his game wasn't that good overall. And his name is the equivalent in America of kilometers. His first name. That should make the clue easy right there. So yeah, if you can figure out those 2 names, DJ Carton's right, Trevor. That's right. DJ Carton is the 2-way that I was talking about earlier. DJ Carton was on 905 both last year and this year. He did play some games for us at the beginning of the year. So DJ Carton, Trevor, I love that you're playing trivia today. Honestly, man, you might get up the trivia board all of a sudden because you're playing today. The other person, like I said, their first name is the equivalent of kilometers in Canada. What do they use in America? That's their first name. So if you can figure that out and figure out their name, you can figure out the other 905er who was on the team last year that came back this year. But he didn't stick around either. They cut him also, just like they cut O'Banner. They cut O'Banner, they cut Carton, and then they cut this guy too because they wanted new guys in. And this guy's last name is like the opposite of Freezes. Yeah, Freezes. So it's like the opposite of kilometers and the opposite of freezes. So think about that, and then you'll get the name. This is somebody y'all have completely forgotten about, obviously. So this is crazy, man. This may be one of the hardest trivias ever, honestly. I'm really feeling these vibes. Normally, these questions will come off the boards really fast. Really, really fast. So, Trevor, you got the first 2 on this. Can you remember the other guy who played for 905 last year and was on the team again this year? Yeah, nobody's going to get this. Well, you know what? This is going to be like this. I'm going to start taking points away and not finishing. The last name of the 3 is Miles Burns. So nobody's going to get Miles Burns. Miles Burns was on the team last year, and he was on the team this year. Opposite of kilometers, miles. Opposite of freezes, Burns. So, yeah, that's the answer, Miles Burns. All right, the next question is a 4-part question. I know, this sounds crazy as hell. I want y'all to rank the 4 J-Rooks in order from contribution to the 905. Out of the 4 J-Rooks, you know who the 4 J-Rooks are, guys. Can you rank them in order of the most contributions to 905 to the least of the 4 J-Rooks? And y'all know who the 4 J-Rooks are. Come on now. You know who they are in order of how they got drafted. Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mobo, Jamal Shed, and Jamison Battle. So rank those 4 guys in the order of who gave the most time and contributions to the 905 this season to the least out of that. Can you figure that out? So I don't know, man. Man, this is a big fail today, man. Ain't got nobody in here, and we got nobody trying to answer. Let's see. Trevor's saying Jacoby, Shed, Mobo, and then you're saying Battle last because you need all 4 of them. That's wrong. That is not the right order of who contributed the most to 905 this season, and that means most minutes, most games, most stars, most of all that. And see, that's the thing. It's a trick question. You can't just say, oh, Jacoby's number 1 because he wasn't down there that much. Okay, here we go. Nins is saying that it's Jamison, Jacoby, Jamal, and Jonathan. That's not the right order, but some of it is. I will say you got the first name right, but the other 3 are not in the right order. The other three are not in the right order. So, Ninja, you're close. You can shuffle it up and keep answering. I just want to get there. Jameson, Jonathan, Jamal, and then Jacoby. That's not exactly right either, Bryce. You've got the first two right, though. So you got the first two right. You're figuring it out. Now it's easy to figure out because you got the first two right. So Jameson Battle did contribute the most to 905 out of the J Rooks this year. And Jonathan Mobo was second. So you just got to shuffle the other two opposite, and then you'll get it. Yeah. Yeah. Jacoby for Jamal and my answer. Nope. Your answer is still wrong. It's still wrong, Nins, if I do that. That means it's Battle, Mobo, Battle, Shed, and then Walter. No, that's not right, Trevor. You guys can figure it out logically. I've already told you kind of the order. Battle, Mobo, and then the other two are wrong on Bryce's answer, but he's got it almost right. He's got it almost right. It's Battle, Mobo, and then blank and blank. Battle, Mobo, Jamal, and Jacoby. That's wrong, Nins. It's still wrong. That's exactly what he said. Bryce said. Jameson, Jonathan, Jamal, Jacoby. That's wrong. It's you just got to flip the last two, guys, and you'll get it. I just want somebody to write it in technically. Jameson, Jonathan, Jacoby, then Jamal. That's right. That is right. So Jamal was the least on 905 this season, and that's why he's last. Jameson played the most on 905. Jonathan second, Jacoby third, and then Jamal. So Bryce Lawson's going to get this one. He finally sussed it out and got the last part. And that's a 400-point question right there. So, Bryce, you're going to rock it up. Seriously. All right, next question, guys. Which Raptors 905 player was all right, I got to get my glasses. Hang on. Which Raptors 905 player was on the download the MVP of the season because his presence added the most to winning? And when he was gone, all of a sudden, we didn't win anymore. So that's an easy question. Y'all should get this one right away. Who was on the download the MVP of the 905, the most valuable player of the 905 this season? Who was on the download that player? Because when they were around, we won. And when they were gone, we didn't win anymore. There you go. Ulrich is what, right? I'm going to give that to Trevor, even though he half-assed it. It is right. That is Ulrich Shamshay is the answer for that question. So that's 100 points for Trevor for getting that one. Yeah, it was Shamshay. Shamshay is the right answer. Yeah, good guess, though, Smooth. That will be an answer coming up, though, so be ready. Jacoby Walter's not right. All right, guys. The Raptors 905 had 5 players called up to the NBA from their team this year. Some of them to the Raptors, some of them to other places. Can you name the 5 players that got called up to the NBA on 10 days or 2 ways from the 905 this season? So who were the players that got called up? This is not rookies. Not the rookies. Don't name the rookies. This is players that got called up to play on the Raptors or other teams in the league. AJ Lawson's one of them. That's right, Trevor. You're going to get AJ. AJ Lawson is definitely one of them. Trevor J. Getting that one. Good job. Let's see. Keep naming. You can, if you get them off the top of your head, get them and go. Get them and go. There's still 3 more. Jared Rhoden is right, of course. Bryce Lawson getting Jared Rhoden, who got called up to the Raptors. That's exactly right. There's still 3 more. Let's see. Trevor, you're just behind on Jared Rhoden. Bryce got that one. So, yeah, think about it. Who are the other 3? Brandon Carlson is exactly right, Nins. Good to see Nins get on the board with Brandon Carlson. Of course, he was the first call up at the beginning of the season to the Oklahoma City Thunder and got a 2-way there. So, yep, there's still 2 more, guys. And both of them were called up by the Raptors to the Raptors. One of them was not on 905 originally, though, but came and played for the 905, but called up from the G League and got called up another time afterwards since he came to the Raptors. And then also there's a player that's already been an answer in this trivia that got called up technically to the Raptors on a 10-day. So if you can remember that player, you can get those points too. So there's still 2 names. And one of them's got 2 10-days with the Raptors and a 10-day with the Sixers. That is an answer right there. Jameson Battle doesn't count because he's a rookie. And the rookies aren't in this question. They aren't in this question. So this would be like guys that were in the G League that got 10 days is what the last 2 guys are. I just gave it away, one of them right now. They got 2 10 days from the Raptors, and they got a 10-day from the Sixers. That should tell you exactly who I'm talking about. And then the other one is got a 10-day with the Raptors, but they didn't ever play for the Raptors on the 10-day, but they got the money bonus for playing on the Raptors. There you go. Trevor's going to get Castleton, even though he's breaking the rule. It's fine. Trevor, you're going to get Colin Castleton, who is definitely one of them. Yeah, Nins, you're just behind with him. Even though you gave the full answer, I should probably give it to you. And then the last one, like I said, got a 10-day with the Raptors, but never got to play. But he got the money bonus for doing it. And he's been an answer already. Yeah. You got it first on your. You know what? I'm going to give it to you because Trevor, in some ways, is half-assing. And we need Trevor. There is a penalty for half-assing, especially if somebody's going to come in and get the full name in there, like you just did. Yeah, yeah. All right. So seriously, the last answer is the person who was the first answer. Is the last answer. That's easy, guys. Who got a 10-day? Never played for the Raptors though in the 10-day, but he did get technically a 10-day from the Raptors, and he got a bonus pay because of the 10-day, and that's really why they did it. It wasn't because they wanted to play him. It's because they wanted to financially compensate him more than a G League salary by giving him a 10-day a bonus. Yeah. And he's the first answer to this trivia, y'all. Y'all already answered him. He's the leader of the Stars. You need to get this one. Come on, man. Come on now. All right. If y'all aren't going to answer it right away, I'm going to go ahead and mark it out. Make sure y'all are live. Hit the live button. Hit the live button. It's Eugene Omarui. It's a Eugene Omarui got called up also on a 10-day to the Raptors, but he didn't get to play. Y'all didn't get that one, though. So it's Omarui. Yeah, Omarui. Eugene Omarui was the last one. All right. Next question. Which Raptors 905 player's mom was on the broadcast getting interviewed by Lindsey Dunn near the end of the season? One of the Raptors 905 players mom got interviewed by Lindsey Dunn near the end of the season. Which one of the players had their mom at the game and got interviewed by Lindsey Dunn? Yeah, this is a little tough. This is another add-on player that came near the end of the season, but he actually played a lot at the end of the season. Unlike Loudon Love and Quinn Schlazinski, he started and he had a problem with fouling out a lot. Yeah, Kenny Chandler is not right. It's a good guess, Bryce. No, this is a later player that's a center. He's a big guy, and he had foul trouble all the time. And his mother came and was just so happy that he was in the league, in the G League, honestly, because he's just trying to make the G League. And so this is tough. These are tough questions. This is like where we really find out the in-depth Raptor freaks in some ways. So I wish Mo was here. Mo would get all these questions because in some ways she did watch the 905 very, very religiously this whole season. So I would say that this person has the same last name as the most important player in the NBA. They have the same initials, honestly. Same last name and the same first initial. If you can figure that out, you'll get this answer. That's a really easy clue right there, honestly. You can think about who's the most important player in the NBA, has been the most important player in the NBA for decades, and who has the same last name as him that's on the team. I mean, in some ways, you could just write the name of the most important player of the league with a first initial in their last name, and you get this right. It's that easy. Quincy Guerrier, Trevor? No, not Quincy. That's not the name of the most important player in the NBA and the face of the league. The guy that ESPN looks at. Yeah, there you go. Nins has got it. It's Lacey James. Lacey James is the right answer. Lacey's mom was on the broadcast talking about how happy she was that Lacey James was in the G League, just in the G League. Yeah. Yeah. Lacey James, LeBron James, Lacey James. That was the answer. All right, here we go. What two 905 players at the beginning of the season was I not about and I didn't like? And I was like, man, I don't want these guys on our team, Luke Wynn. But one of them came around and I was like, all right, I like this guy by the end of the season. But the other one I still don't like. And I didn't like the whole entire season. And their name has been put on this many times already. Y'all have guessed one of them. In fact, I think Bryce has got it right there. If he wants to write it in again, you get it right there. Yeah, Bryce, you got it. Kenny Chandler, did not like him the whole entire season. Still don't like him. But the other guy, I started liking him. Nins has got the other one. It's Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown Jr. was the other player that I was not really keen on at the beginning of the season. But Charlie Brown started playing a team game. He started really having really good chemistry with Quincy Guerrier. And man, After that, I was like, yeah, he's actually a team player. He's playing like a team player. Then I'll get behind it. All right, y'all are starting to get some steam here. I see Stargate has entered the chat. Is going to try and help us with getting these two. This will be good. All right, here's the next question. What big man for the 905 was great in Summer League? Fantastic in Summer League, but absent pretty much the whole entire NBA G League year. Like the dude was killing it in Summer League. And I was like, man, this guy's going to be so good for us on G League. But then he was hurt the whole entire year, and we barely saw him play, which sucked because he had a real promise. In some ways, he's very much twinning like Shamshay. He had a body that's similar to Shamshay, and he blocked a lot of shots in summer league. But then he got hurt, and he was on the injury list pretty much the whole entire season for the Raptors 905. We barely saw him play at all, at all. So who was twinning with Shamshay and who was shot blocking like crazy at our summer league last year, but then wasn't on our team for the season because he was hurt. And this isn't Carlson because Carlson was not hurt. He played for the Thunder. Who was that instead? I've seen his name in the chat. Somebody's already answered his name a couple times. His initials are DD. I'm going to give you guys hand holding on this one. His initials are DD. And if you get that one, you can get that one. Yeah, it sounds familiar. That's right. Like, I don't blame you for forgetting Nins because this guy, you would probably forget he was on our team. But y'all named him already. Somebody's answered him already in this, and their initials are DD. Dylan Disu's right. Yeah. It was Dylan Disu. He came out and he blocked a whole bunch of shots at Summer League, played really well, and then he proceeded to get hurt in the fall. And we didn't hardly ever see him on the court, which was too bad because he could have been really good for us this year. What player mysteriously disappeared from the 905 in the middle of the season? And then Blake Murphy helped us solve the mystery by giving us the information through the chat. Blake Murphy of the Raptors Show telling us, well, it's because he's having an emergency knee surgery and his wife is expecting. What player disappeared during the season all of a sudden? He was really great add-on. There you go. Smooth's got it. That was Frank Kaminsky. That's exactly right. Good to see Reggie get some points here. That was exactly right. You got your answer there. It's Frank. That's right. Frank Kaminsky, just ahead of Nins. Just ahead of Nins. Yeah. All right, next question. Who was the third Canadian on the team other than AJ and Eugene Omarui? You guys have answered him a bunch, and you know who it is. Who was the third Canadian that was on the 905 this year besides AJ Lawson and Eugene Omarui? Who was the third Canadian? You guys have already answered him a bunch. He's from Montreal. And you guys have answered him a bunch, and this is his question finally now. So if you can figure out who is the third Canadian on the 905, other than AJ and Eugene, who is that third Canadian guy? And I've already answered this. It's been part. The answer has been given away earlier in this trivia. Yeah, Quincy. Yeah, Trevor's going to get that one. It's Quincy. Quincy is the answer. Trevor, you're cleaning up, man. You're gonna be on the you're gonna be on the thing now. Yeah, there's Bryce getting in right after him. Let's see. All right, next question. Which 905 player played in Belgium professionally last year? Which 905 player played in Belgium last year professionally? This is something, if you remember from the beginning of the stream, I talked about the beginning of the G League season. I said this guy got signed and came over here from playing professionally in Belgium last year and came to our team. He would be, like I talked a lot about like there's a 3-point shooting like depth on the Raptors with Grady Dick at the top and Jamison Battle. This guy would be the next guy. This kind of the 3-point shooter in the hierarchy. Well, at least he was at the beginning of the season, but he cooled off and he wasn't that good for most of the season. And then he got a little bit better at the end of the season, right before they finished G League season. So who is the guy who played in Belgium last year professionally for before he played for 905 this year? And his last name is the name of the old arena that was in Seattle that the Sonics played in. His last name is the old arena that they played in Seattle. The Supersonics used to play in an arena in downtown Seattle. And what was the name of that arena that Sean Kemp and Gary Payton worked in in the 90s? If you know that answer, you got his last name. And that's all you need to get these points. So he played in Belgium last year. He's a sharp shooter, 3-point shooter. He was really good at the beginning of the year, didn't do much in the middle of the season, and then he started playing better at the end of the year when we needed him to play more minutes. And his last name is the name of the old arena for the Seattle Supersonics in the old arena. I've been to that arena, and actually the Seattle Storm still play in it. Just so y'all know, the Seattle Storm still play in this arena to this day, and it's over near the Space Needle, right downtown in Seattle. Seattle. You guys don't know the name of the old arena where the Sonics used to play? Tyreek Key's right. Nins, yeah, go with your gut, man. You got it. Tyreek Key is exactly right. It is Key Arena, and Tyreek did play in Belgium last year, guys. All right, here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more questions. Let's see if we can get there. Let's see if we can get there. Which 905 player won the last game that the 905 won this season by hitting 3 straight free throws in clutch to put us over the top and win the game? Which one of the 905 players this year won the last victory for the 905 by at the free throw line by hitting 3 key clutch free throws right at the end? Charlie Brown? That's a good guess. It's not right. It's not right. This guy does have a name that's more famous with somebody else, kind of like Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is more famous for being a Peanuts character than Charlie Brown Jr. And this guy has a guy who shared the same name. Tyler Perry's right. Stargate got it. Tyler Perry stepped up and got to the line and shot 3 straight free throws to win the last victory for the 905 in the regular season. They didn't win again after that. Yeah, it was Tyler Perry. All right, guys, 4 more questions. Which 905 player this year went from walking on to the team in a tryout last summer to being the starting point guard for the Raptors 905 at the end of the season? This guy walked on and tried out for the Raptors, paid the fee at Mississauga, made the team, and then ascended to being their starting point guard by the end of the year. Which one of the players did this? Was at the tryouts and made the team that way. Isn't that crazy that we had a walk on this year that stayed on the team, played a lot, and ended up being the starting point guard at the end of the year? Which player is that? That's right. Charlie Brown is not right. Charlie Brown's not right. Charlie Brown's answer was earlier. That was the one with Kenny Chandler. So it's not going to be Charlie Brown's not an answer for the rest of the game, just so y'all know. This is a guard. It's a point guard, not a forward, Trevor. It's a point guard, and that's easy. Y'all just need to figure out who is the starting point guard for the Raptors 905 at the end of the season. Then you'll have the answer. This guy really played really well in the second half of the season. He didn't play as much at the beginning of the year, but as the year went on, he played more and more and more and was steadier. And he supplanted Kennedy Chandler as the starting point guard for the 905. That's right. Nins has got it. It's Evan Gilliard. Evan Gilliard walked on and tried out for the team last summer, and he was the starting point guard at the end of the year. Evan Gilliard. Yep. Nins, you're doing good, man. All right, there's 3 more questions. 2 of them are so hard, I don't even know if I'm going to even do them, but we'll try. We'll try. Which 905 player played only 1 game in the Showcase Cup, and that was it? He didn't play for the Raptors 905 at all, any otherwise. Now, his first name is the last name of the Vice President of the United States, and his last name is a family that went on the Victory Tour in 1984. So if you know those 2 answers, the last name of the Vice President, piece of shit, and then you know the name of the family that went on the Victory Tour in 1984, you have the answer. So the first name is the last name of the president, and the last name is the family that went on the Victory Tour as a group, a musical group. You know, who did the Victory Tour? If you know these 2 names, you'll get this answer. This is a player that only played 1 game for the 905 the whole entire season. And that's how deep cut this is. It's crazy. So who's the Vice President of the United States currently? What is his last name? That is the first name of this person. And the last name is the family that went on the Victory Tour, the musical family headed by Joe, the father, and their little sister's Janet. I mean, it's not hard, y'all. Come on. You know who did the Victory Tour. Come on now. This is like pulling teeth, y'all. Y'all should be like right on it. This is really bad. I can tell we're going to have to do this better next time. Randolph's saying Jackson Vince. No, the Jackson's the last name, and you got to get him the other way, and you'll get it right. And that's not Vince. You know the vice. I made that maybe that spell correct right there. No, what is the name? The first name is the vice president's name. And then the last name is Jackson. Yes. So yeah, if you could just get in the right order and the right name, because Vince is not the right name. It's not the right name. You know what the vice president's name is. Yeah. Y'all are so close, man. This is tough. I mean, it used to be so competitive with the trivia. Y'all would be biting at the chomp to try and write this in ahead of each other. I'm just so dismayed. I guess we're just gonna have to get in the rhythm of playing trivia again. Maybe I shouldn't have came back with such hard trivia. I got to remember that a lot of y'all are not watching 905 in some ways. JD Jackson, no, Smooth. His first name is the last name of the president. The first name is the last name of the president, vice president. Vance Jackson. That's it right there. Oh, yeah, because you can't say his name right now, I think. Maybe I blanked out his name. So there you go. Stargate's going to get it. That's right. There you go. Stargate has got it. It's Vance Jackson. Vance Jackson was the player who played for us, just one there. Yeah, you answered that before, Smooth? You said JD Jackson. You know what it is? I forgot. I don't allow the word Vance in here, and that's what the problem is. So your message didn't go through. That's my fault because I've like blocked idiot's name down there. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give the points to Stargate and Smooth. Smooth, you can get it. I believe you. It's just that the stupid yeah. Yeah, you know what? I can't see it because it won't come through if you write in the word Vance properly. That's why his went through because he put the at and the a. That's why his went through. The word's blocked. That I've totally forgot about that, guys. I apologize. In some ways, it's just me trying not to have people like bring in that bullshit right now. All right, the next question. One of the Raptors 905 players that played on the season has not been an answer yet. There's all the other ones have been answers so far. There's one player that has not, and I'm going to give you clues. First of all, his last name is Raptors draft pick that had the first name of Chris, but it's not Bosch and it's not any Chris that you may think. It's a Chris that came and got drafted to the Raptors in like the early 2000s, and he's not a good player. Think about the level of Michael Bradley. So think of a Raptors draft pick that was first name Chris and his last name starts with a J. That's the last name of this player. And then their first name is the job title position of four corners for the Raptors. So the first name is the job title position of four corners for the Raptors organization. And their last name is the same last name as Raptors draft pick Chris. And I could even try and figure out what year he was in. I could even try and figure out what year he was in, what year he got drafted. No. Let me see. Wow, that's not even the right one. Let's go here. He was drafted by the Raptors in 2002 with the 27th pick, his last name. 2002 draft pick for the Raptors in the 21st pick in the first round, 27th pick in the first round. That's his last name. Let's see. Malachi Flynn. I'm going to give you a dunk for that. That's funny. That's funny. All right, Trevor, you can have a dunk for that. That's funny. Now, the first name is the position of four corners for the Raptors organization. What is his job, y'all? It's that easy. What is the job that he does for the Raptors when he's at the arena? It's very easy. And then his last name is the same last name as Raptors draft pick in 2002, number 27th pick, Chris J. What is his last name? Chris J. Yeah. Bruno? No, not Bruno, man. What does Four Corners do, Trevor? Do you know what Four Corners' job is at the arena? What does he do? That is the first name. It's initials. It's a job. It's a job I used to do on the radio. It's very easy. Oh, my gosh. We got Four Corners news, actually. I got to give to you guys after this, too. But, yeah, man, this is like one more question after this. We just need to get this one. What is the profession of Four Corners? That is the first name of this person. You guys know Four Corners is, right? Y'all go to the games, right? You know what Four Corners does at the game, right? And then the last name is first round pick for the Raptors in 2002 at number 27, Chris J. So what is the last name of Chris J? I'm giving you the initial even. Oh, my gosh. This is pulling teeth. Where's Monique? We need Monique. She would know these answers, all of them, because she watched 905 all year. Man, I guess maybe we'll just make this one a dud too. The answer is DJ Jeffries. DJ is the position that Four Corners does in the arena. He's the DJ that plays the music. And Jeffries, Chris Jeffries, drafted by the Raptors in 2002. You're too late, Randolph. You put DJ late. I said DJ just a second ago. So that one's an X. Nobody's getting that one. DJ Jeffries is the answer. Y'all know the position of Four Corners, right? He's a DJ. Come on now, y'all. All right. All right. Last question. And y'all can guess like crazy on this one. All right. At the beginning of the trivia, I had the question who got the most stars, like accumulated. It was Eugenio Marui. He got the most stars out of all the Raptors 905 this year. But one of the players that played for 905s had the best quality as far as he played few games, but he got the most star rating, like the highest average stars. So I'm saying this is the most quality 905 player that played for 905 this year, meaning he played the best basketball. The highest level of basketball for 905 wasn't very G League, and in some ways didn't belong down there. Which one out of all the players that played at 905 this season had the best quality rating for basketball play out of all the players? And this is free. Any of the question answers we've done all so far. Wilcox? Who is Wilcox? You're answering too late. Stargate, you're not live, obviously. It was DJ Jeffries is what the answer is. Ulrich Shamshay is not the highest quality player for the Raptors 905 this year. He was 11th for quality. He was not in the top 10. He was 11th. There were a lot of games he appeared in, and he didn't do a lot like that. Yeah, Stargate, you got to hit the live button, man. This is a problem here. Jacoby is right. Trevor's going to get this last one. Jacoby Walter had the most quality minutes in 905 out of any player this year. Jacoby Walter had the best quality play. So Trevor's going to get that last question. He's right. It was Jacoby. Jacoby was number one, and number two was AJ Lawson. No, wait. Number two was DJ Carton, actually. DJ Carton, in the little bit of time he was on the team at the beginning of the year before he got hurt, had the second best quality play for the 905. AJ Lawson is third. Jared Rhoden is fourth. The fifth player is Eugenio Marui, as far as quality. Number 6 is Colin Castleton. Number 7 was Brandon Carlson. Number 8, Jonathan Mobo. Number 9, Frank Kaminsky. And the 10th most quality player on 905 this year was Jamison Battle. So there's your top 10 as far as quality for the team. Yeah, the best players with the most stars were Gino Marui, AJ Lawson, Kenny Chandler, Jared Rhoden, Ulrich Shamshay were the top 5. Frank Kaminsky, number 6. Quincy Guerrier, number 7. Evan Gilliard, number 8. Jamison Battle, number 9. And Jonathan Mobo, number 10. So, yeah, that's kind of a little bit of like a snapshot of what has been happening with the 905 this season and how they did. You know, I look at their game log, and, man, they only won one game in the whole month of March and really lost a whole lot. They won 2 games in the whole month of February. So 3 games won over a 2-month span where they lost a whole ton of games. January was their most successful month of the year with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 3 in the month of January. 9-3 record. That was really awesome. But then everything fell apart once Shamshay got hurt. And after Ulrich got hurt on February the 12th, they did not have but one more win for the whole rest of the year. And that is why Shamshay was so important for them as a shot blocker and defensive presence in the lane. Because once he was gone, the Raptors 905 had no defense whatsoever. So he was so key. So key. All right. So it looks like Bryce and Trevor and Nins did the best today. And I'll add up the totals, and I'll put the final totals for in the Raptors freak total Raptor stuff. Yeah, Spurs defense. Okay. Yeah, Spurs defense. Okay. We got to play them next Sunday, and we'll be done. And the season's going to be over a week from now. And get ready, because every Tuesday we're going to be doing trivia. I'm going to make the questions easier next week. Jeez. I thought that y'all were advanced. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Seriously. All right, y'all, let's do the straight goods on Canadian goods real quick. Today, I'm continuing my series on Canadian franchises that you can go to and eat at that will support Canadian-owned business, Canadian industry, Canadian economy, Canadian jobs. and Canadian people. So yeah, today we're talking about Druxies, y'all. Y'all know about Druxies, famous deli. It started in 1976 here in Toronto. And well, Druxies is going to have their 50th anniversary next year, guys. And the brothers that own the team, the company, still own it. Bruce, Harold, and Peter are still in charge of Druxies to this day. And well, it's an important thing. They are big supporters of the charity Camp Awakening. It's a camp for physically challenged children, and they raise funds for the camp through their restaurants. Now, y'all know Druxies, right? It's like a Jewish deli kind of chain that's been around Toronto mostly, but it is spread out across Canada, and there are other locations in other places. Quite often, you might see a Druxies in a hospital or in a big office building as a part of a cafeteria or something like that. But go to Druxies and know that you are supporting a company that is very proud to be Canadian and utilizes Canadian products and goods in what they make. So yeah, Druxies is my recommendation for today. If you like old deli food and you know where a Druxies is in your neck of the woods, feel good about eating there because it's Canadian. And if you do, you're supporting Canada. So there you go. Boom goes the dynamite. John's saying time to beat the Hornets. Yeah, we'll play them tomorrow. And yeah, I'll have the preview in the morning. It seems like there are very much injuries for them. A lot. Like the main guys are gone, like Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball are both out. And so we're getting, just like the Nets on Sunday, we're going to be getting a skeleton team that's really the bottom of the barrel for their talent on their teams when we see the Hornets. Yeah. They have the best bagels at Druxies. Yeah, it's a good traditional Jewish deli. And their locations, like I think there's like 50 locations. Most of them are around Ontario. A lot of them are around Toronto. There may not be as many in other places, but just know, much like Cora yesterday and Boston Pizza and A&W, that these are companies and restaurants that are Canadian owned and Canadian started. And if you eat at these places, better than McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King or any American companies. So I'm just trying to get people to support Canada in different ways. I think it's true though. Also, we can support Canada through things like artists and media. CBC Gem is a fantastic streaming service that is Canadian and really focuses on Canadian content. So if you want a streaming service, and you don't want to support America, you could switch off that Netflix or whatever you're using and go and get CBC Gem, which is straight up Canadian. And that is right here. There's other things like supporting Canadian comedians and artists and musicians. There's also, like I'm doing right now. You can boycott Canadian companies like Facebook, which is what I'm going to be doing at the end of the year, at the end of the month, very soon. I'll be boycotting Facebook and Meta. So there's little ways that we can all add up and contribute to helping our country right now financially by supporting Canadian business. Another big issue right now is, of course, we want to save the CBC from right wingers who are trying to close it because we need a free press. And this is really dangerous. The CBC is an independent press that is paid for by the government. And that's important because in some ways it allows for free speech and freedom of the press. If we don't have the CBC, you know what happens with our media here in Canada? It's all owned by US corporations, and they can manipulate and gaslight us with misinformation. So it's very important this election we vote for the Liberals because they're going to save the CBC and allow us to have a press that we can trust. That's a real dangerous thing if we don't have a news source that we can trust as Canadians. Because think about it. If the corporations in the United States are controlling our news sources, they can brainwash us and make us really like misguided and in a bad place. So protecting the CBC is important for protecting the freedom of Canada, guys. And anybody who's saying, "Oh, we don't need CBC, we don't need this, we don't need that," they are fucking an enemy to Canada. I'm gonna tell you right now because we need it. We need that information. We need that news. We need a free press in Canada that is not going to be biased in weird right-wing ways. It's going to warp reality like the Americans are trying to do with their presidency is trying to do that with their media down there. They've got a lot of control over their media already, and it's not telling the truth at this point. And they're shaping things in really weird ways. And we can't stand for that. We need a free press in here. And that's why protecting the CBC should be a priority for people in this Canadian election this month. And Paul Revere is already on record saying he will destroy the CBC. So in some ways, if you care about that, you need this is a reason to vote right here. That's right. Yeah. Mavericks defense, we'll see them too. But that'll be on Friday. Dallas Mavericks. That's right. All right, let me see what's going on in the Instagram real quick. Shamshay is celebrating the Florida Gators winning because there's a player that came from the NBA Africa Academy, and he's a friend of his. So he's celebrating this guy for winning the national championship with the Florida Gators last night. So very, very cool there. Let's see. Colin Castleton, of course, being a Florida Gator alumni, he's very much proud and happy of his team winning. And he's put on blast that the Florida Gators are the national champions once again. Paul Jones was doing an interview at a BMO event with Donovan Bailey, guys, the great Canadian Olympic track star, was having a sit-down interview with Jonesy. I guess yesterday. That's pretty cool. He was very excited about that, apparently. Yeah. Let's see. Savannah Hamilton saying Unrivaled made over 27 million in revenue in its inaugural season, even after spending 7 million or more on players' salaries. Okay, so the Unrivaled League made money, is what we're learning. The women's league that they just did in the offseason of the WNBA. That's fantastic news right there. And Savannah has a new episode of her podcast that is I forget what it's called. It's called the Cinderella Stories. Yeah. So she has a new episode out. It's on March Madness and the finals. Let's see. And she's got a quote here that's saying that one of the old centers for the WNBA said, if you are not putting your dollars or marketing behind women, it's just lip service. There you go. There you go. Well, I want to try and market you guys on my channel. I'm Small Potatoes, and I'm not trying to make any money or do money or anything like that, but I'll put word of mouth out there for you guys. I'm on your side. Norman Powell's got to understand the grind gear like crazy. This man's got a warehouse now, and he's got swag like the Tempo do. All kinds of items coming out in the Understand the Grind. Jamal Shed went to the game, y'all, last night, guys. They had a couple days off, so Jamal literally went to the championship game and was at the game in courtside. I don't know if he's courtside, but he went to the game and watched the Cougars play the Gators live last night, just so y'all know. So Jamal was in the house for the game. All right, this is the news about Four Corners, guys. Of course, Four Corners is our house DJ in the arena at Scotiabank Arena, and he's fantastic. But he's on the injury list, y'all. Just like the Raptor tore his ACL years ago and couldn't do his job for a year, and Stripes came in and took care of him. Well, I noticed the other night, Four Corners was not DJing on Friday night for the Pistons game. And I was like, where the hell is Four Corners? Well, I found out on Thursday night last week, Four Corners was working out and he strained his calf and it's really messed up. His leg is messed up. So he's literally a physical injury for our house DJ on the Raptors. He's on the DL, Four Corners. So the doctor told him he can't really be on his feet. So there's going to be a different house DJ for the last home game tomorrow, just like there was on Friday night. Now, thankfully, Four Corners injury is happening at the end of the season, and he's not going to miss very many games. But that's what's up, man. Our DJ is on the DL right now with a calf strain, and he cannot be at the arena to DJ right now because the doctors told him to stay off his feet. So, yeah, that's crazy, eh? Y'all didn't even know that. The Raptors DJ is on the DL, bro. It's too bad. He's got some funny content, but he is saying right now, because he's at home and he can't work right now, he's open to collaborations with artists and people that want to work with him. And all he wants you to do is shoot him a message. Like if you're following him on Instagram, you could shoot him a direct message. He'd probably talk to you right now because he has time on his hands because he can't do nothing. And he's staying at home. So, yeah, they made a Funko of Four Corners, and he likes it, man. It's a little Funko Pop with him with the Raptors hat on, Four Corners. And he's like, yo, he's going to make it his new avatar. It's actually a pretty good design, honestly. It's actually a pretty good design. Toronto Tempo are still very, very happy and satisfied with the amount of people who came to the watch party on Sunday. Very, very proud of the enthusiasm and the crowd that came down to the NBA restaurant and watched the women's final with Toronto Tempo personnel. That's fantastic stuff. Siakam is just a badass. He's got all kinds of stuff going on his Instagram. He's doing some treatment. He's sitting there and talking, just kind of hanging out. Yeah, and there's somebody playing video games. I don't know what's going on there. Scotty putting Jonathan on blast on his Instagram for the Rook was doing it all yesterday. Yeah, Scotty's very proud of Jonathan. Like when Jonathan was playing really good in that Nets game, you could see him on the bench with his salmon suit, kind of like getting hyped and cheering on JMO. Yeah, let's see. Eric Smith's putting autism awareness and acceptance on blast on his Instagram right now. He's got all the shoes from the Raptors, all the NBA coaches that were wearing for the autism thing that they just did for raising money for Max. So that's pretty cool. He's showing them all off. AJ Lawson is saying, God is in within me. I cannot fail. God is within me. I cannot fail. And there's a cross on his Instagram stories. I love to see that. Jay Nathan is saying this on his Instagram stories. First of all, he's got his highlight from his lob pass from Jamal Shed to the lob to the dunk. But then he's also got these words of wisdom here. Don't let someone stop you from God's blessings. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. That's Isaiah 54:17. He's quoting scripture on his Instagram right there. And there's my friend Jason Agnew on Raptors official admin promoting the Lotto Max Super Max contract competition, which has a prize of season tickets for the Raptors, alumni dinner, a meet with one of the Raptors, signed jersey. It's just insane. The prize, $5,000. Like the prizes for this competition. So Jason Agnew is the guy with the microphone telling y'all decision day. If you want to win the max contract contest that Lotto Max is putting out with the Raptors right now. That's a huge award, honestly. Season tickets, dinner with the alumni, a signed jersey, $5,000. Hello, Jack. That's right. Yeah, hello. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. You guys have filled up some comments here. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Let's go Pelicans. Okay, that's interesting. Randolph saying, Lex and Raptor Freaks, most informative gang, blessings. Don't let those who do not know your worth dictate your journey. Choose your own path. This is echoing what Trevor kind of said at the beginning. People don't see your worth, will walk away. And well, you're saying don't let these people determine who you're going to be and what you should be in your life. I'm with you on this, man. In some ways, it annoys me that I see potential in somebody else, and I wish they would get into being more into that potential. But yeah, everybody has their own path and their own awareness and everything. And in some ways, just because you see something in someone doesn't mean they'll ever realize it. And that's too bad. But in some ways, that is just how it is. Now, if you could be a mentor or a good friend, maybe you can help guide them to see something that they don't see. And then they can get further because of that. Thank you, Randolph. And blessings to the Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families. I appreciate your words. Smooth saying, what's with the elevated courts in the NCAA final? It looked weird. I didn't see it because I don't have any visual of it. They've done these elevated courts in different places. There's a venue that has this. And was it just because they were playing on that venue? I don't know. In some ways, I don't know why they would do that unless it's like, I mean, if it's not that big of a deal, I would worry about injury for players. Like if you're up higher and there's not a runoff off the sideline and you could actually go tumbling downstairs, that would be what I would worry about a little bit. I mean, what is this? A step towards cagers again? The early NBA history is they played in a cage. Yeah, there was no out of bounds. That was partly to keep the ball in play. And there was no out of bounds because the ball would hit the cage and you could just keep playing. You know, they had the cage right around the whole entire court and you were in there. They called basketball players cagers in the beginning of NBA. And well, they took the cages away at a certain point. But yeah, that's another weird little history thing is that there was no out of bounds for a while in the NBA because the cage was right up on the end line all the way around and it just bounced off the cage. And you kept playing. It's crazy. Yeah. John K saying, let's go Pelicans. Why? They're out. Why? Trevor's saying, someone called me Canada phone number yesterday from Conservative Party. They asked me if I could depend on my support. I said, why? So you can fuck me in the end? Oh, hey. Yeah, there's robocalls going out right now to try and garner support for the Conservative Party right now. And yeah, I told them to eat shit. That's what I told them, and I blocked the phone number. Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. This kind of stuff is this election series cycle. And there's a lot of misinformation. One of the dismaying things that's happening up here, and I've had the impulse myself, but I'm better than this. I see conservative signs in my neighborhood because I do live in a rural area where there are a lot of conservative voters. And my impulse is to drive over them or burn them or take them down. But I'm not going to do that because that's not right. It's illegal. But there are people on the other side that are doing that to liberal signs here in Canada right now. They're burning them. They're drawing swastikas on them, which I don't understand because the swastika side is the right wing fascist of Pierre Poilievre and Elon Musk and Trump. But yeah, there's a lot of violence and like destroying of liberal signs around Canada right now. So that's just showing the immaturity and the illegality of the right wingers right now that they was stoop to do this. I've not seen anybody doing this to conservative signs, even though I'd love to. Oh, I would. I would love to do some vandalism to some PC signs, but I'm not going to do that because I'm an adult and I understand the laws. But apparently, there's idiots on the other side that are going around destroying red signs right now. Yeah, whatever. Listen, you all saw the mobilization of the American people this past weekend. Yeah, this shit is not popular, MAGA. Right wingers and their bullshit, racist, white supremacy bullshit. Yeah, Pierre Poilievre, I reject you. And you are the equivalent of Donald Trump in this country. And people here that don't see that, they're idiots. Well, you're brainwashed idiot motherfuckers who have probably bought into all kinds of bullshit. You're probably still mad at Trudeau for mandates and you can't fucking get over that. And your anger from that is being funneled into bullshit now. Seriously, get over yourselves. Stay present and let go of your bullshit. Seriously, you need to worry about the country, not about Trudeau, dumbasses that are out there. Anybody who's still voting politically because of Trudeau, you're an idiot. Trudeau's out of the picture, and you need to just fucking vote for Canada staying strong, and that means voting for the liberal Mark Carney. Seriously. Because Pierre Poilievre, just like Danielle Smith is already working on a deal to get Alberta to be American, this is how this bullshit happens. Russia had a campaign to send all kinds of misinformation into Ukraine to get more Ukrainians sympathetic to joining Russia. Well, the same playbook's being played here. There's all kinds of media bullshit trying to brainwash mushy minds here in Canada, dumbasses, disaffected young males that feel like the world's against them. They're utilizing propaganda just like they would, Russians would use on Ukraine to try and make people inside the country be like, yeah, I'd love to join Russia from Ukraine. So these traitors like Danielle Smith and a lot of Albertans right now, you're not for Canada, you fuck faces. You're traitors. And in some ways, I'm very disappointed in y'all that y'all can't see the fucking charade and y'all bought into this cult of personality that is named fuckface Trump. So I would say this: you cannot vote PC, y'all. I'm telling you right now, we will not be Canada in 5 years if you guys vote PC right now. We have to stay with the opposition to the people like Trump. And don't get it twisted. Poilievre is a friend of Trump's, and he will sell us out to Donald Trump in a heartbeat, just like Danielle Smith is showing she will too. And don't get it twisted. Doug Ford would do it too, also here in Ontario. He's acting like he's against them, but bullshit. Doug Ford gets the right check cut to him. He will sell Ontario to Donald Trump just like fucking Danielle Smith would sell Alberta to him. So, Canadians, you love being Canada? We have to reject the PC party wholly and heartily, mandated, because those fucks are the ones that are the gateway to us being the 51st state. And we don't want that at all. We are strong and free, true north, strong and free, just like our anthem. And we need to stand on guard for thee. And standing on guard for thee this month is voting and voting for the Liberal Party to defeat the PC party, because there won't be a Canada if we let the PC win this election. I'm going to tell you that right now. People don't want to fucking listen to me. They think I'm wrong. Nope. Lex is right on this one. And you need to very much vote. Very, very much vote. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you're like, well, fuck Lex, I'm going to vote PC anyway. Well, you're part of the problem. And if you do that, you will probably fucking contribute to us not being Canada anymore. So I would say every single Canadian that is patriotic and loves our country and wants us to stay the true north, strong and free, you cannot afford to vote for PP, because the PC party is the gateway
to Donald Trump Megaland being in Canada. And that's just the damn truth. You think Mark Carney's going to be the gateway for Trump to come here? No, he's not. He will fight him, and he will make us strong economically. And that's what we need to do right now. That's right, Trevor. Yeah, you tell them to eat shit when they call you like that. That's right. Smooth saying the team bench were a step or two lower than the court. The team bench was a step or two lower than the court. Yeah, I've seen these kind of courts before, and they're weird. They're weird. And in some ways, it's good for sight lines. In some ways, it's good for viewing the game. It's kind of like a stage. And, but I worry about the players falling down the stairs. You get your momentum going and you're going out of bounds. In some ways, would the players not play it all out because there's not a runway to run off the court straight off of it, like where you're going down? That's a injury waiting to happen. You could twist an ankle on some weird stairs. So you have to run down all of a sudden because you're running full speed. So, yeah, I don't like those kind of courts. I don't, because it seems like they could be dangerous. Pretty funny guy. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's go Pelicans. Yeah, despite the fact. Mojo. Okay. Yeah, Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. What's the plan without Raptors basketball? Looks like Lakers are making a run for the final two. If so, I will have a team to hate on. Yeah, I'm not going to, we're going to do a lot on Discord, Wayne. I hope you can come in there and join it. It's going to be very fun. We're going to do different kind of things, watch parties. And also, there's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of interaction. We can actually talk through the mics on there. So there's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of possibilities with the Discord server and what we've started there. So that's going to be a lot of the off-season fun. And then, of course, I'm going to do all the regular stuff I do on the YouTube channel, like what we did today. That's right. Let's go Pelicans. All right, you're really about the Pelicans today, man. That's weird, man. Really about the Pelicans. MJ's here. Morning, fam. And happy Tuesday. So bummed I missed the trivia. I couldn't make it earlier to stream. Hope everyone was well. Yeah, we needed you. We needed you. It was like pulling teeth. It was very difficult. In some ways, we needed an old trivia pro like you to kind of try and clean it up. I don't know how much you know about 905, though, MJ, because the questions were all about the Raptors 905. But, yeah, it was tough. Smooth saying, the one concern I have is if Pierre is elected is that the possible cancellation of the federally funded dental care program. That's not the only concern. That's one. Another one is the CBC. And that one should be the one that you're really worried about the most, seriously. Because if we don't have a free press, if we don't have an independent press, that's what the U.S. is trying to kill right now. Any journalists that speak out against Trump, he's trying to get fired and quieted. So that's not freedom. That's not democracy. To have a healthy democracy, you need freedom of the press. And they're trying to destroy that in the United States. And that's a right-wing playbook for fascism. And they're doing it in other places too. They do it in Germany. They do it in Hungary. They do it in the U.S. They do it in Russia. Think about Putin jailing any reporter that says anything bad about him. That's not a free society. That's not freedom. And Pierre Poilievre has already made overtures that he will shut down the CBC. And the CBC is the most independent media that we have in this country right now. All the other shit is bought and paid for by corporations, and specifically U.S. corporations. That's right. Yeah. It's John K. I don't give a shit what you think. If you're on the other side, I will fucking kick your ass out. I don't even know who you are. Are you DK? And you just showed up in another account? I'll kick you out, man. I don't have time for people that are going to play both sides. You think that the PC side's better? Well, fuck you, man. You're against Canada then. I'm going to say that right now. You're out, bro. I'm not trying to do this for everybody. You're out, my guy. You're out. You're out. I ain't giving equal time to the both sides. There's only one side that's right. The other side's full of shit, and it's full of Nazis. And you know what? You want to stand up for Nazis, John K? Well, you can see the fucking door, motherfucker. That's what I say to you, man, with your weird ass, dumb ass fucking go Pelicans. What the fuck are you talking about Pelicans for? And your weird ass shit. Are you DK? Because you were the one who was saying, 25 game win streak coming. I don't know, man. Kaloy's saying, I listened to PP's speech yesterday. He's talking about trashing the current regulations for fast tracking resource extraction. This scared me. He wants to make Canada look like Mad Max landscape. And he lies and lies, totally saying about less projects with the Liberals, where you can easily look that shit up online, and Liberals okayed more projects than Harper. Yeah, I don't like that at all. In some ways, we don't want to be open for business for American companies to come up and extract our resources for them to make money and destroy our country. Fuck that. And like I said, he has a lot of plans that are really bad. One of the other ones that's really bad is he wants to privatize healthcare and make our healthcare system more like the United States. The United States pays more for healthcare than any other country in the world, yet they die younger than anybody else in the world. That doesn't seem like their healthcare system works. If their average lifespan is shorter than other countries that have socialized medicine, well, that shows you that free healthcare and the system we already have in this country is better than the one that Pierre Poilievre wants to install by letting his fat cat cronies make money off of us from dying and going to the hospital. That's the US model, and it doesn't work. And in some ways, there's another huge reason why you have to reject PC government is because they want to privatize our healthcare. And in some ways, Canada's free healthcare is one of the best things about this country. And the things that ain't broken. And these motherfuckers trying to do this shit, that's what I'm saying right there. That's right. That's what I'm saying right there. And yeah, there's lies. The right wingers lie on everything. They try and say the liberals lie, but listen, the liberals do what they do. And honestly, they do a good job in a lot of cases. Y'all got mad because of mandates and vaccines and stuff. Get over your fucking self. You're a baby. You need a measles vaccine. You need a polio vaccine. There was a fucking pandemic, and the prime minister wanted us to all get a vaccine to protect ourselves, and that was the right decision. That's a science decision, not a hack job, Robert F. Kennedy fucking bullshit, fucking conspiracy theory, anti-vax piece of shit, QAnon bullshit. Listen, vaccines work, and Canada was smart to have a good high isolation and vaccine rate because we lost less people than the United States. So idiots that are against the vaccine and the mandates and shit, y'all are fucking dumbasses and get over yourselves. That shit is over and done with. If you didn't get the vaccine, okay, that was your choice. But listen, don't get fucking mad at the Liberal Party for Justin Trudeau and the pandemic. We're moving forward and we have new crises and we need to get on the right same page as Canadians. And the right leadership is from the Liberal Party. And y'all think I'm crazy? You think, oh, no, fuck the liberals. You just got a branding on you that you just hate that brand. You just hate the word. You've been programmed like a dog to be Pavlov's dog. You hear the bell? I hate liberals. Ding, ding, ding. I hate liberals. It's like they fucking programmed you like a computer, you dumbasses. You fucking are being played like a piano, you dumbasses. Everybody who drives around with a bumper sticker that says, fuck Trudeau, you're an idiot. First of all, you're an idiot. Seriously. Because in some ways, that dude's not prime minister anymore. Get over yourself and move on. And honestly, Mark Carney is not fully a liberal. He's very conservative, and he's a nice middle-of-the-road choice so that we can all unite here in Canada and fight off Trump and his bullshit. So that's what I say on that right there. Yeah, and if you don't want to believe me, you're just like, well, I just hate the liberals so much. I'm just going to hate them. You were programmed to do that, motherfucker. Billionaires paid billions of dollars to funnel through the media to make you hate liberals. And y'all duped ass motherfuckers are falling for it. That's what I say to these people. These people. That's what I'm saying, John K. Right there. Yeah. Fiercely saying, I didn't consistently watch the 905, but paid attention to your synopsis after the games, for sure. They would have gotten a winning season if Shed, Walter, Battle, Mobo, and Ulrich played more. Yeah, specifically if Shamshay had not gotten hurt, they would have been so much better off in the second half of the season. He was so important. That's another reason why I'm not a big fan of Kennedy Chandler, because he fell into his leg and he made it bend in a weird way, and it messed up Shamshay's rookie season. Yeah, Fiercely saying most of them progressed so well with the main roster. You meant a G in there. That's what it is. Progressed. Yeah, they made progress. There was good development this year with those guys. That's right. The importance of a solid big. Yeah, defensive big. That's the problem. There's nobody who is really good defensively on the 905 other than Shamshay. There's nobody in paint presence. I mean, sure, there's guys on the outside. Charlie Brown can steal the ball. There's dogged defenders, but there was no interior defensive presence other than Shamshay. And when he was gone, that was it. That was gone. That was gone there. All right, let's do the classic card. We got more stuff to do still. It's just we're right at the end of the chat. We might as well do it right now. Yeah, all right, let's see. Is this who we want? Yeah, we'll do this one. All right, guys, here's the classic card. Please make this easier. Oh, my gosh. I feel like all the trivia stuff on this channel has been so difficult right now. I just want y'all to do big time. Yeah. Raptors' biggest need for next season is health. I agree with that. And I hope that we have very good luck with health next year. And we're all present and accounted for and able to play on a regular basis so we can be the absolute best version of the Toronto Raptors next year.
with everybody present. There you go. All right, here's the classic card, guys. It's not that hard. You can see them right there. If you're an old head and you know your NBA, you should know who this guy is. If you don't, well, I'll start giving clues to get their name. So yeah, you're right, Lex. Defensive big. It matters big time. That's right. That's a big means it matters big. A big matters big. Yeah, this is a player who played for the Lakers, obviously, and he played for a couple other teams. Golden State was another team that he played for. He was a Warrior also. He's pretty well known. He's not like a superstar, but he was a player that played regularly, that was very known in the league when he played. He's not like a bench guy that nobody knows. So this is a rotation player. I don't even remember if he started all the time. He was kind of like a starter sometimes, but he was also a six man. So anybody can get this, man. This has been so hard. Terry Teagle, Smooth's got it. Thank you. Thank you for doing this right. It's Terry Teagle. That's right. Good job, Reggie. I appreciate you, man. It's not Norm Nixon. It is Terry Teagle. Norm Nixon's not actually a bad guess, honestly. But yeah, Terry Teagle was a Golden State Warrior for a long, long time. And then he went to the Lakers that year on this. He went to Baylor, just like Jacoby Walter. So yeah, Smooth Brown, man, you're going to get this one. I'm going to say it's a 200 one. So Terry Teagle, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for getting this. Thank you for getting this, Smooth. We'll give you a 200 for that. That's a 200 point clue. Lots of trivia points went out today for the trivia because, man, there were tough questions. And I felt like, man, you guys are struggling so bad. We need to get the good questions. All right. Yeah. Once again, ESPN has a mock draft post NCAA tournament, and they have us picking Malawach at number 7. And then they have us picking the Auburn point guard, the freshman point guard, at 39th in the second round. So that's the ESPN news of the day for that. Let's see if there's any breaking news about anything on Blue Skies. Doesn't seem like it. All right, let's see what's going on Reddit. Raptors Reddit. What's going on with these people here? Are they crazy? There's levels to tanking, and they've got us. Yeah, you know what? We didn't try to lose as hard as other teams. That's for sure. This is like the record of all the teams in the last since March 1st. The Jazz are 1-19. That's the worst. And we're actually, out of all the tanking teams, we're 11-8 since March 1st. So in some ways, we didn't try and tank as hard as teams as like the Nets and the Sixers are 3-18 and 4-15. Really, really bad records. So the tanking teams did try to tank harder than we did. And in some ways, I don't know. I have more respect for what we did than them. And in some ways, we're going to be just as fine in the playoffs. I mean, in the draft lottery as we would have been no matter what, whether we won more or lost more anyway. I want to win one more game at least because we're sitting at 29. I want to get the 30-win season. So we got to win at least one of the last 3 games. I think we could win all 3 of them and get to 32, and that wouldn't be a big deal because we'd still be under the Spurs. But we'll see. Scotty, because he sat on Sunday, has to play these last 3 games to get 65 games. He used up his games that he could miss. So he needs to play against the Hornets, the Mavericks, and the Spurs to get 65 and be considered for postseason awards. So, yeah, let's see. There's a little bit talking about the 39th pick, the Portland pick that we have in the second round. That some mocks are saying that we would get the point guard for the Gators last night, Walter Clayton Jr. How do you guys feel about that? If he dropped to 39, would you all want him to be drafted by the Raptors to be on our team through this year? Watching the NCAA tournament last night, you guys like that player, Clayton? Because there's a little bit of a prediction. Some people on here are saying that they want that to happen. This guy's saying here that he has a prediction that Chris Boucher will play and start in the final home game of the season on Wednesday. That's wishful thinking. I don't know if that's going to happen. Like I said, I looked at his stats. He's played 50 games this season. He played 50 games last year and got shut down. There's something about his contract when he plays over 50 games that an incentive kicks in. And I don't think the Raptors are trying to do that. So as much as we'd like a home goodbye from Chris, a final appearance on the court as a Raptor, we may not get this, guys. We may not get this. I would agree with you. If it's going to happen, it will happen tomorrow here in Toronto against the Hornets. But I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. Y'all, definitely check out our Discord server, guys. Seriously, there's a lot of fun going on in there. And you know what? I'm gonna put the link in the chat again right now. Just if you want to join, there's more and more of us are coming in there, and we're doing more and more fun stuff in there, interacting. You can actually talk to me during off hours if you want to talk Raptors and stuff like that. Yeah. So let's see. Stargate saying that's not a bad pick for the Raptors at 39th. So you like either one of those point guards that I mentioned? They're saying the Auburn point guard or the Florida point guard at that spot. Yeah, the Auburn point guard was well coached. Okay, all right. He's a freshman too. That means he's pretty young. Stargate saying, as long as Beyond was proven wrong, Lex. I can't remember what your win prediction was when you were on that show. I know Beyond said 23 wins. I think you said 28, right? I said 38 originally. I wanted them to win 38. That was my original statement on Beyond Basketball Rewind. That was my original statement, but then I amended it after the injuries and how things started with the season to 28. That's kind of what happened. My original guess was 38. I said if they're healthy and they can play the whole season, I think they'll get 38 wins. And that might have been right, honestly. If we had played more healthy the whole entire season, we might have actually gotten a winning season, honestly. But it's looking like it's going to be closer to what I said originally. But I did say 28 later after we started getting hurt at the beginning of the year. Like when Scotty got hit in the eye by Jokic and he was missing, and Grady, different people got hurt at different times. Yeah, I amended it to 28. And yeah, now it's looking like, well, they're one win over 28 right now. And I think they'll get to 30, if not 31 or 32. So yeah. All right, let me see. What else did I have in the once again? We're doing the finals of our fantasy league right now. And Cass is leading 7-0 over David Saborin, and after the first night of competition. That's big time. It may be that David didn't have any players playing in the 2 games yesterday. And that's part of the reason why. I'm losing bad to Andrew and the consolation. And Jason's beating Gerald. And Meredith is losing to David right now. And that's a check-in with that. There's no birthday today, unfortunately, guys. Unfortunately, we do not have a birthday today. I am apologizing for that. There's a new episode of Kensington Variety VIP Club from 5 years ago. We're in the pandemic. We're in isolation, but I'm on the street trying to talk to people. So if you want to see me goofing around during 5 years ago when the pandemic was in full swing, just started. Yeah, there's some goofy stuff on the YouTube channel in the videos in there. So yeah, once again, y'all eat at Druxy's. Druxy's Deli is Canadian owned, and those Canadian locations is a great franchise for you to support. If you want to support more Canadian business, Druxy's Deli is 100% Canadian. If you have one in your area, eat there and feel good about it because it gives to good causes and also is good for our economy. I'm just saying, the more and more we divert our funds from spending and American products and places like Walmart, and we start spending our money in other places, the better things will be for our economy. And we can't be going to places in some ways. If you can afford to pay a little bit more, it's better to keep it in our economy. I understand some people are on a budget and they're going to have to go shop at Walmart no matter what, because that's just how it is. But if you can figure out another alternative for how to do things in a more Canadian way, I implore you to do it. That's right. 31 wins incoming. Trevor thinks we'll get 2 more. So we'll win 2 out of the last 3 games. I think we'll beat Charlotte. Charlotte's in a bad place, and it is the last home game. The other 2 games, well, we'll have to see. I mean, if we beat San Antonio, that may not be good, but maybe we will. I don't know. Which one of the 2 games of the 3 do you think will win, Trevor? Which ones do you think? Stargate saying, who does ESPN have picking Derek Queen? They've got Derek Queen going 11th to the Miami Heat. That's what they have on that same mock draft that came out this morning. They have Derek at 11. They got Asa Newell at like 20 going to Orlando. So those are the 3 spotlight guys we've talked about. If you want, I'll go over the top of their predictions right now. They're saying, of course, Cooper Flag to Utah, Dylan Harper to Washington, Ace Bailey to Charlotte, VJ Edgecombe to the Pelicans, Trey Johnson to the Sixers, Jeremiah Fears to the Nets, then us getting Coleman Mulawak Watch, and then Canuple to the Spurs, Kasparis to Portland. The Rockets get Colin Murray Bowles. Miami taking Derek Queen at 11. Yeah, and then Igor Demon at 12 to the Bulls. Yeah. And then of note, like I said, Asa Newell, they've got him all the way down at number 21 to Orlando Magic. And our second round pick at 39 that we got from the Portland Trailblazers, they are predicting that we will take Tahad Pettiford, point guard of Auburn, right there. Yeah, that's the ESPN mock draft that came out this morning. Yeah. Trevor, I did the classic card already. It's Terry Teagle. Yeah, it was already done. Trevor must like step away and he just misses certain parts of the stream here and there. Trevor's saying WNBA draft is the 14th on ESPN. Yeah, I wish we were involved in it, but we're not. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream, and thanks for doing trivia. I'll add up all the trivia points. It was tough. I'm going to be more easier next week. I feel like this was a problem that I got to remember. In some ways, we can't just go to PhD level Raptor Freak trivia right away. We got to start at the lower levels to start the trivia season again. So I'll have an easier trivia for you guys next week. I'm sorry. I got to remember 905 is not that mainstream, and people are not paying attention to the 905 like Monique and I are to an extent, because it's just there's a lot to it. I get it. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Let's go 905. Let's go Raptors for next season. We're going to have a good year next year. I believe that. Yeah, baby steps. There you go. Baby steps. I like that, MJ. All right, y'all. I may have some office hours this afternoon. So if you are on the Discord and you want to talk just privately or just talk about Raptors, I'm in there on the mic and you can actually talk to me. So it's really a great system so far. I'm really enjoying hearing y'all's voices and seeing y'all and talking Raptors with you guys outside of the stream. And I'm looking forward to the possibilities and capabilities of Discord tied into this channel. And who knows, it may have something to do with the stream, what I'm doing right now at some point soon. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Tempo. Let's go Team Canada basketball. Let's go Scarborough Shooting Stars and CEBL. Let's go Raptors 905. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow for a while. No, there's a preview. We're going to preview the Charlotte Hornets game tomorrow. I was already ready to go to off-season mode. Wow, Wednesday. No, there's a preview for the Hornets game tomorrow. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. Oh, one more thing real quick. I just seen an interview this morning that Monique posted in Facebook with Jack Armstrong standing up for Drake. Honestly, he's saying that people are being too hard on Drake about what he said about DeMar. He had a bad day. And, sometimes people say some things on a bad day, and we should just give him a mulligan. He says it's so funny that Jack Armstrong standing up for Drake and said he's a good friend. I like Drake a lot. I knew him before he got big. When he first started coming on our broadcast, and he's been really important and helpful to the Raptors. Just trust me. I've seen it up close in my real life, like up close. So Jack Armstrong is an advocate for Raptors Nation to forgive Drake and to not be so mad at him for his comments about DeMar DeRozan. So, and Jack did admit he doesn't really understand the Kendrick Lamar beef, but yeah, he understands that this is part of the reason why these issues are going on. Jack Armstrong, you're awesome. And Drake, in some ways, you could apologize to DeMar, and I might feel better about you. Or you could just not be on the broadcast anymore. And I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that too. You can go to the game, sit there, but you don't need to be on the mic. Honestly, you got a hot mic. We can't trust you at this point. That's what I'm saying right there. All right, let's go Raptors.